Hello, everybody. This is Neil, actor, musician, digital artist from Orlando, Florida, and I'm going over a trade that was. I'm going to go over a trade that's happened on the 24th. Um, as you can see down in the lower right-hand corner, there was my entry stop target, so I just want to talk about this one. This one resulted in a loss, obviously, but I'm going through my normal routine here. I'm marking the highs and the lows of the previous day and the highs and the lows of pre-market before the market opens, and I usually do this around 15 minutes before the market opens. So as you can see here, it's been in kind of a sideways trend. It was sideways from the previous day to overnight. So I'm just taking a look at where it could possibly go from here, seeing what my choices are. And here you can see that it's kind of following a pattern a little bit. Um, so you can see the candle formations, and even though there's a mixture of bears and bulls. You can see a slight pattern, form here. Um, I'll mark it also the all-time highs and a previous swing low, just to get a sense of you know um, how far it can go depending on what happens. Um, but in this case, I kind of see a pattern going on here. In a way, it made a on the daily chart, it made a lower high um, going into that session. And now the market is open. So what I'm doing on another screen is I am waiting for the 5 minute candle to close, and then I mark basically a square through the first hour. Um, this is kind of an opening range breakout, but it's not. Um, I gotta tell you that I got my strategies from another um, trader that um, I resonate. The strategies resonate with me. So I'm marking basically the high and low of the 5 minute candles, and then and see if my edge works out from there. So I'm just waiting, and I'm also seeing like a possible play here, which is another strategy I use. It's a power bar, and I'm just gonna say that I got these strategies off a guy named Steven Adams. So you can look him up on YouTube. It's called Trade Your Edge or Trading the Edge, something like that. But in this case, I got the highs and the lows of the 5 minute candle marked off here. I just copied it over from my 5 minute chart. So and I'm just waiting for a close outside that chart. Now the default stop for this, of course, is 50% mark of the 5 minute candle. Um, Hopefully it doesn't, and I'm also getting a sense of where I could logically stop at for, a tighter stop um, to minimize as much risk as possible. Um, so as you can see, it's the market during this week, and I think the previous week, has been kind of doing a rubber band kind of thing here, and I kind of missed it in this. I could have stayed out on this had I paid attention, but I'm just waiting for like I said, what I consider my edge. And so here I'm just waiting for the candle to close outside, and here we go. And I'm waiting for a retest of this, whether it goes in and comes back out, or whether it's you know, whether the candle closes back outside or not. I'm waiting for that. I'm just waiting for that retest. And if this candle closes outside of that square, then I would enter in on the trade. And my stop is actually where that yellow line is going to be. Um, and here it formed kind of I didn't get in there because that candle had it was touching the fence, um, and it didn't actually close out. I mean, I guess you can consider it closing outside, but I didn't get on that because of how close it was. And so now I'm waiting for another place where I could possibly stop at. Um, like I said, to minimize as much risk possible as possible. And here it's right above that pre-market low. It closed below it, so it reclaimed that pre-market low. So now I have confidence, uh, that it's going to go down. Um, but then this candle says otherwise. Well, we'll see where this candle goes next. So I'm just watching to see what happens, and there it goes. It rejected off of that uh, pre-market low again. And so now my stop is actually going to be above that pre-market low if I get the candle close outside of the square that I drew. All right, and here we go. And I did slow down the video at least at this point so you could actually see. And here, so what happened here is I didn't wait for the candle close, which is actually part of the rules. I didn't wait for the candle to close. And had I wait for the candle to close, I would have never been in on this. So in this instance, this turned out to be a losing trade because I broke that rule. So you can see I was anticipating um, the play to keep going downward. I was wanting to get in on it, and here it was a bit of a fear of missing out. But I'm playing this normally like, okay, I'm seeing where it could go, and where I take my profits. So I have my stop and my profit loss set in. But as you can see, the candle started going, it started turning the other way. Buyers started coming in, and it's not looking good here at this point. And you'll see here in a bit that, well, it's not going to turn out well for me. And all because I broke that one rule. So anytime that, so that's something that I obviously have to pay attention to is, I mean, I need to have more patience in the play. I need to make sure that have my edge. And you can see where this candle, that this thing took out the low of the day. And here in the next 10 seconds, it looks like it's going to close as a bull candle, um, which spells doom for me. Had I had I waited for the market to close, then I would have been in. And here you can see it's going up. It's tested that pre-market low again. It's going above. And so I always use 20 SMA and a 9 SMA on my charts. And so here it tests the 9 SMA, and now it's testing the 20, and it's testing and boom, I just got stopped out because I didn't follow the rules. So yeah, this turned out to be a loss because I didn't trade my edge. It was, I'm disappointed in this because I failed at this point. Um, and that was it. And that was my trading day. So I decided to, because I had made a bad decision, it was going to stick in the back of my mind. I had decided just to stop trading for the day. And my typical rules are really just one trade a day. I just take one trade a day. Um, but in the first 20 trading days when I was, uh, when I was trying to get my trading under control, I was only allowed one trade. Win or lose, it didn't matter. Um, and so I successfully followed the rules. And now in the next 20 days, which I'm still in that second 20-day period, I'm allowed one extra trade if I follow the rules and I don't let emotions take over. And so far, I have not taken a second trade at all. I just take one trade, and I try to make it good. And now I'm just at this point, I'm just seeing where the chart is actually going and seeing how everything played out and seeing, you know, was I right? Was I wrong? Well, I mean, obviously I was wrong, but my bias was to the downside. So I'm just looking at this point. Um, I eventually did shut it down for the day, um, and just, because I kind of still was in the right state of mind, but I wasn't in the right state of mind. I messed up, and per my rules, since this was a loss, um, not driven by the rules, I had to shut it down regardless. And so here I'm just looking, just a note in my journal. I'm looking at where my execution was. And actually, I had the exit price wrong. You can see it was 29717, not 00. So it's actually wrong on the video, but there was a little bit of slippage there. But in this instance, I failed to follow the rules. I was, like I said, on this play, wait till the candle closes. So In any event, um, thank you for joining me and have a good day.